All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Um, Today we're going to. So first of all, how was this past week for you? Did you? I mean, I know in the state of the world is a little chaotic right now. So how have you
Yeah,
been feeling?
I try to let my week not depend on the state of the world because it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Um, but I didn't do well on my water this week, so I had a lot of Braxton Hicks. It was really uncomfortable, so I had to drink a lot of water yesterday, and I'm feeling good today.
Okay. Okay. Excellent. Yes. So but no, any other problems besides that? How about your legs? Any cramps or anything? Everything's
No,
good.
my legs have been doing good. I've definitely been feeling better since I've been stretching and like actually, uh, doing some kind of exercise and movement every week now.
Yes, yes. And also, since the recording is available, every time that you feel tight in any of those areas, just feel free to replay it and just do it at home by yourself, so that during the week. So I really encourage that.
I want to, but I don't want to see myself doing it, so I haven't yet. I haven't tried it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I know the feeling. Yeah, this camera thing is interesting.
Yeah.
All right, today we're going to be learning a new breathing technique. It's called Brahmari Pranayama. In Pranayama is the bumblebee breath, and it's you can actually feel the vibration of the as you're doing the breathing on your skull. So it's really interesting. So it really calms, like if you are in a state of anxiety or you just need to calm down about something, whatever it is. Obviously daily life can influence us and we have different kinds of emotions. So whatever your emotion may be and you may need to calm down, come to this pranayama, and it's really wonderful how it works. And this is something that you can actually practice with your toddler, because I think she would love it, because Sophie loves it, my 3-year-old loves it, because it's the bumblebee breath. So to do the bumblebee breath, so the first thing that you do is you bring your two fingers, your index and your middle finger up, and then with those fingers you close your eyes. So the idea is to withdraw your senses inward. So placing your fingers on top of your eyes, and then using both your thumbs to close your ears, both ears. Right. Excellent. And now you shouldn't hardly hear anything, hardly see anything. And so what you do, you're gonna inhale, and on your exhale, you're gonna let the M sound go out like this. And as you do the sound, you should feel the vibration within your skull. Do you feel
Yeah,
it?
that's weird.
Yes, yes. It is weird. It's so bizarre, but also again, it just amazes me how these people knew to do this. Years and years ago, and it became a practice. So all right, so let's go ahead and try to do it. Let me put my music on hold, starting with a deep inhalation. Inhaling. butterfly. Mm. And then just resting your hands on your knees, keeping your eyes closed, just continuing to feel the vibration in your body. Just feeling the how your cells are vibrant, how they're full of energy, your blood flowing. Um, and
Can you hear her cartoons?
I do, but it's not it's hardly you can hardly hear them, so it's totally fine.
Okay, because I can mute my microphone if it's disturbing.
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's fine. Yeah.
Right.
And then when I play the music, that might actually help some. So yeah, so Brahmari pranayama. When you teach that to your daughter, she's probably not gonna be able to coordinate placing the fingers in the right place. So um, when I do it for Sophie, I actually pretend that I have wings and I'm flying like a bee, and I go, it's still the M sound. But yeah, and she or having our arms like this, like, and she likes that. All right, so let's just bring our awareness to our body, closing our eyes, and start to notice the breath, notice the quality of the breath, and checking to see if our breath is shallow, or maybe rapid, and just trying to notice how the air comes in through the nose and how it goes out through the nose, noticing your nostrils, your both nostrils, creating an even inhalation and exhalation without forcing anything, and just observing your breath. And then just checking to see if there's any tension in our bodies, on your neck, just doing a quick scan, checking your neck, your shoulders, your throat, your jaw. That we've talked about, our jaw is it's so related to our pelvic floors. Our shoulders, our arms, our chest, the belly, the back, the low back, and your legs, your knees, your feet, your toes, and just seeing how we can start to settle in our bodies, in our all the parts of our body, bringing our awareness to different parts of the breath, and just continue to breathe without being in a hurry. Nothing to do at this point. This time is for you. Just being thankful that we have the ability to do something for ourselves, and that we have the circumstances that allows us to be able to take care of ourselves. Sometimes we get so caught up in our daily tasks and maybe our role as a mother, as a wife, as a daughter, sister, friend, that we sometimes it's easy to forget things that are important. One of them is taking care of ourselves, but also sometimes, unless baby's kicking, sometimes we forget about this little light that we have inside of our wombs. Baby doesn't ask for our attention right now. Baby doesn't cry, wants to feed, or doesn't want a diaper change. Baby's just nice and blissful. He or she has everything that he or she needs right now. And sometimes it's hard to remember that we have this little light. The yogics say that the yogic tradition says that the soul enters to the baby's little body at 120 days after conception. And so your baby can hear you, can feel you. If you're happy, baby knows you're happy. If you're sad, or afraid, or angry, baby knows what's going on. Because there's this beautiful connection. Right now, there's two souls living in one body. And that's miraculous. That's just completely amazing once you start thinking about it. And so we don't have to wait for birth. We don't have to wait. We can go ahead and connect with our babies right now, making a little bit of more conscious effort. They love the sound of your voice, so we can sing lullabies and read books. As a matter of fact, studies shown that the earlier that you can read books to baby, it's and the better for their development. So as we go through our asana practice today, let's try to stop in the middle of it and try to see reconnecting back with baby in hopes that maybe throughout this week you could also come back to reconnecting, just feeling the love in your heart, this love that is infinite. And bringing your hands to your heart center into a prayer pose, bowing down to your fingertips, and then just sending love to your baby. And on your next inhalation, lifting both hands up to the sky, inhaling up, exhaling down to the sides, inhaling both hands up, exhaling down, inhaling up, exhaling down. Just continue with your inhales, totally fine. Inhale and exhale. And if she comes in, it's maybe she wants to be part of the class. And it's totally fine. And then she'll get bored, I guess, maybe.
Yeah.
Not that my classes are boring, right?
If you're 3, maybe.
And then lifting one more time, this time dropping the right hand to the side. So we're moving the spine in all directions, just warming up the spine. Synchronizing the breath, inhaling as you lift both arms up, exhaling as you drop your left hand to the side. And then this time we're gonna go into a twist. So dropping your left hand on your left knee, placing your right hand behind you, doing a little bit of a twist, making sure we're twisting using the torso and gazing over your right shoulder behind you, just a small gentle twist. Staying here for a couple of breaths. And then inhaling both hands up and then exhaling, twist into the other side, placing the right hand on your right knee, left hand behind your back. Gazing behind your left shoulder. Breathing in and breathing out. And now both hands up to the sky and then placing your hands on the mat and then walking your fingers away from you, doing a little bit of a forward bend, making sure there's enough space for baby. You may need to open up your legs if that feels better. Otherwise, you can keep them crossed, okay? And then walking your hands back to your center, interlacing the hands behind you, opening up the chest, really squeezing those shoulder blades. And so here we're gonna add a few neck rolls. So we're gonna bring our chin to our chest first, and then our left ear to our left shoulder, and then gazing up towards the sky. Very gentle. We just wanna be extremely careful here that we don't injure our spine or our neck. And then placing your right ear by your right shoulder and then back to center, drawing the chin back to your chest. And then continuing doing circles. And if this doesn't feel good on your arms, if your arms feel like it starts to tingle or anything, then just reduce the tension behind your arms and continue your neck rolls. And then maybe do them in the opposite direction. Again, really gentle, really mindful that we are not overstretching, that we're not trying to do more than we can here in hopes that maybe we get a good neck stretch, because believe me, I've done that before. And then back to center, dropping your hands next to each other. And then this time we're gonna bring your right ear to your right shoulder, and then your left hand stretching your left hand, just wiggling your fingers. And so you should feel a very nice stretch here on this area, yeah. And then breathing, exhaling it out. And then repeating the same thing on the other side. So drawing your ear to your shoulder and then extending that right arm, maybe wiggling your fingers and dropping it back on the ground. Inhaling, exhaling. Letting all that. And maybe on one side you may feel like it's a little bit different than the other. And if you feel like doing a little micro bend, a little micro movement on the head, just to see if you can feel your muscles being stretched in different areas of your neck. And then back to center. And then from here, we're gonna be doing something that's called the Ashwamasana series. And the yogis talk about having blocks of or energetic blocks of, it's kind of like air or prana gets trapped in your joints And so for your body to um, be able to function at its optimal way, is wise to remove those blocks or to let the energy flow. So we're gonna start off by um, let's see if you can see. Let me sit back here. So your toes, we're gonna flex them and then squeeze them forward. And again, we want to synchronize our breath. So as we stretch our feet up, we inhale, and as we curl our toes, we exhale. And it's a combination of the movement with the breath that allows those blocks to be released. It also helps a lot with, when your feet are swollen, or if you have any kind of cramps, or just after you're standing on your feet for a long time, especially whenever you are, when your belly gets bigger. And then from here, we're gonna go the same thing, but lifting the feet off the ground if it's possible. So for that, you may actually need to bring your hands away from your body and lean back a little bit so that you can lift your feet up. And then we're gonna move down and up. And if you place a little bit of, if it gets too difficult, it's okay to place the heels on the ground, just as long as you can still do the movement. So again, synchronizing with the breath. Inhale as you lift, exhale as you point. And then from here, do some circles with your ankles towards one direction and then the other. From here, I like to sit on a blanket just because it helps bringing my hips above my knees. And so from here, grabbing your thigh underneath your thigh and then lifting the knee up. So we're gonna work the knee now. Inhaling it up and exhaling it down. And so if this, traditionally you do it in a vertical way, but especially when we're pregnant, and if this is not feel comfortable for belly, so you can do it on an angle and see if that feels better for you. Yeah?
Yeah.
Inhaling it up, exhaling it down. And then placing your heel on your opposite thigh, and then lifting your knee up and then pressing it down. So we're working the hip now. Inhaling up, pressing it down. And now switching positions. This time I'm stretching that right leg, and then this time lifting that knee up, maybe in an angle. Inhaling up, exhaling down. So you'll see that you also, I don't know if your thighs are getting tired, or you can feel the work in your thighs as well. Yeah. And then placing that ankle on the opposite thigh, and then lifting it up and placing it down. And then come back to stillness, shaking your legs. then come back to cross-legged. From cross-legged, leaning forward, moving into all fours. And now we're gonna do our famous cat-cows. So inhale, inhale, dropping that belly, lifting the chest, gazing up towards the sky, exhaling, rounding our back. Inhaling up, exhaling down, really massaging every single vertebrae. So trying to visualize how our spine is actually getting a massage. And at the same time, baby is basically this is a restful position for your low back because the weight of the baby is now shifted, which is why it feels so good to be in this pose also for labor. Inhaling as you lift up and exhaling as you round, making sure that we don't have a deep curvature in our spine because we do want to protect our lumbar. And then from here, we're gonna move into a few circles. So start moving in one direction. And then on the other direction. And then coming back to center. So really planting those knees on the mat. And then send them away from each other. So let's see, let me turn the heater off so you can hear me. So we want to press the knees away from each other, creating a traction on that mat, and then releasing and doing it again. And as we do it, we want to continue to breathe. So here we're working our pelvic floor and our abdominal muscles. And pushing out and release. And from here, stretching that right leg and then bouncing back and forward. Yeah, nice massage on that, or nice stretch on that calf muscle. And then dropping the knee on the ground, doing the same thing on the other side. Back and forward. And then from here, we're gonna lift that leg up. And if this feels good, you can go ahead and stretch that left arm. Here we want to make sure that we're not dropping the belly, but that we're using our abs to maintain the integrity of the pose. And then from here, we're going to do a few taps. So we're going to tap the floor with both our hand and our foot. Inhale, tap. Inhale, tap. Inhale, tap. So checking to see if our hips are squared to the mat so that we don't ride. Excellent. Excellent adjustment there. Inhale, tap. Inhale, tap. 3 more. 1 more. And back to the ground. Now swing your hips side to side. Yeah, okay, so one adjustment. So we're gonna do the same thing on the opposite side, but this time bring a blanket and fold it, yeah, in front of you. And then place the heel of your hand on the blanket. Yeah, so that way there's less strain on the wrist. So let's try that. And see, the blanket, it just may be a little bit tiny height, or however you feel more comfortable, you can adjust. So let's do the same thing on the opposite side, extending the left leg out and then lifting it up. And then if you're ready, or when you feel ready, start to lift that right arm off the ground. In here for a couple of breaths. And then tap. Inhale and tap. Inhale and tap. Once again, checking to see if our hips are squared. Tap. Inhale, tap. Inhale, tap. All right, 2 more. 1 more. And coming back to center, dropping those knees, and then sending your hips side to side. How did that feel on your wrists?
It was better, much better.
Okay.
It's harder with your hips square.
Yeah. Oh, yes, it's definitely. Okay. So from here, we're gonna move into puppy pose. So bring your block with you, place it in front of you to where you can place your forehead on the block. And of course the block has 3 heights, whatever height you think you'll feel good. And then dropping first your elbows to the ground, placing the forehead on the block, and then just stretching, extending those both arms forward away from you. So here also we want to make sure we're not overly curving our spine by any means, that we use our abs to keep the integrity of our hips, our hip alignment. Of course, we don't want to round the back either. So here we're using our abs as well to maintain the pose. Very nice. And then our puppy is gonna grow because we're gonna move into full down dog. So bring your hands back to the mat and curling our toes under, and then lifting our hips off the ground, our knees off the floor, and then start to walk our dog, bringing the heels one at a time to the ground. Maybe opening up the distance between our feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. Make sure that we have enough room for baby here. And then bring our awareness to our hands and seeing that we have our fingers pointing forward. And moving the mat away from us with our hands to create a stretch on the upper back. And then from here, we're gonna come to stillness. If at any time you feel tired from being in down dog, then bring your knees to the ground. To stay in down dog, we're gonna be doing mula bandha. Mula bandha is a Kegel exercise. Okay, so let's go back to the ground. And let's do a few wrist circles here. Yeah. And actually place them on the ground. And then bend the hand, yeah, on one side. And then in. See, I don't know if you in like this with your fingers pointing towards your other hand, yeah. And then switching, doing the same thing on the other with the other hand. And then coming into down dog again, curling our toes under, lifting up, and then going straight into mula bandha. So we're gonna be doing Kegels here while we're doing our down dog. And see, you can definitely see the difference when you do a Kegel here, when you do a Kegel while you're seated. So this should feel more evident that you're actually squeezing those muscles. Do you feel it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so coming back to your knees. And doing another few wrist circles. And back into down dog this time. From down dog, we're gonna walk our hands forward to your hands. Interlacing your hands on grabbing opposite elbows and then just swinging side to side, ragdoll. Feeling a very nice stretch on your open back, keeping your knees bent perfect. And then slowly coming to standing, one vertebrae at a time, stacking one on top of the other, bringing the crown of the head up last. And then sending your shoulders to the back of the room, moving them into circles, towards the back, and then circles forward. Let me change my camera real quick. Whoops. Let me change my camera. Oops. All right. So now we're in Tadasana. So bringing your block with you. So placing your block in between your legs and squeezing. Dropping your hands, your shoulders behind you, opening up your hands. Keeping your palms facing forward, planting on the ground, placing all fours of quarters of the feet on the ground, and really squeezing that block one more time. Then continue and proceed to do a few Kegels as well. I think it's a little hard to relax in this pose because you're still pressing against the block.
Mm-hmm.
And then removing that block away from you. And then just do a few hula hoops with your hips and keeping your knees bent. action. This must be feeling really good for baby. It's like really fun. And then the opposite direction. And then from here, leaning forward with your torso parallel to the ground, and continue with the rolls, with the hula hoops, except this time keeping your torso parallel and then bending your knees as you move. And keeping your eyes, your feet wider than hip width apart to create space for baby. Yeah, yeah. So this also strengthens the low back. I don't know if you can feel that. And then back to standing. From here, we're gonna be doing into half sun salutation. So we're not gonna do a full sun salutation. We're just gonna lift our hands up towards the sky. And then folding forward all the way down, keeping your knees bent. Keeping the space in between your hand and between your feet as we fold forward. And then inhaling halfway up. Exhaling forward one more time, inhaling all the way up. And so do you have a couple of blocks here, or you just have one block, Laura?
Just one.
Just one? Okay, so just go ahead and bring your block with you. Maybe that will help. And so inhale, hands up. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling, placing your hands on your block, so keeping a straight back. Yeah, just feeling how there is as if something's pulling you, as if there's a thread between your tailbone and the crown of your head, as if they're pulling you away. So feeling that nice straight back. And then folding forward one more time, keeping the knees bent, inhaling, hands up. Exhaling down, hands to heart center. Inhaling, hands up. Exhaling, folding forward on the way down. Inhaling halfway up, placing hands on the block. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling, hands up. And exhaling back down to heart center. Inhaling up. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling halfway up, exhaling, folding forward, inhaling all the way up, and hands to center. One more time, inhaling up, exhaling forward, inhaling halfway, exhaling back down, inhaling up, and then back to center. Let's do this one more time. Inhaling, both hands up. Exhaling, bending the knees. Inhaling, halfway up. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling up towards the sky. Exhaling, and back to center. From here, we're gonna stay in Tadasana, but then this time we're gonna bring our hands to our belly. So placing your right hand on top of your belly, placing the left hand underneath your belly. Yeah. And then just trying to connect, closing your eyes. So try to position your feet. So let's see. Normally when we stand up with our feet pointing outwards, the toes pointing outwards. So this time we're gonna bring them a little bit in, just a tiny bit in. Yeah. So that gives you more stability. So if you're finding yourself waiting in line at the store, or staying in a place where you need to be standing up for a long time, bring your toes a little bit forward, and that helps you tremendously with being able to carry in the weight. So stay in here and then closing your eyes, and then trying to imagine your baby, try to connect with baby, whatever it is that comes natural to you. And then maybe have a little smile on your face. Also, when we smile, we're actually sending a signal to our brain of happiness. Sometimes when we don't feel like smiling, we actually can make ourselves happy if we smile. It's just how our brain is wired, is the biofeedback. And then just removing your hands, and then shaking one leg and then the other. And then we're gonna come back to seated. So slowly back to the ground. Let's see. Change the camera again. Okay, so moving into your garland pose. I like to sit on my block, but you don't have to sit on the block. So opening up your hips, yeah, and then just placing your hands in front of your heart center, pushing your knees away from each other by bringing the heels of the hand closer to the ground. Yeah, adjusting the feet however you need to, being mindful of the knees here as well in this pose. And just doing a few kegels as well here. And see, I don't know if you can tune in into the music that's in the background, but see if you can synchronize your kegels with the drums. And since I know you're music oriented, I think that will be easy for you. We're gonna be doing this for another minute. Okay. And coming out of it, doing kegels in this pose, especially when you have your wide-legged legs, is actually more difficult because as your legs are spreading out, you're actually will be relaxing your pelvic floor. So when you are consciously trying to squeeze it back in, it's actually it's actually more difficult because your body wants to do the opposite, right? Naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so coming back to seated. And from here, let's see, we're gonna be doing, we're gonna go ahead and bring your strap with you. And extending those legs out in front of you. Maybe sitting on the on your blanket if you have one. And then just placing your, you know, your strap right in the center, and then placing your these ball of the foot on it, and then bending that opposite foot, bringing the sole of your foot to your inner thigh, and then maybe moving your leg 45 degrees out, yeah, and then start to fold forward. And yeah, so make sure we are not squeezing baby. I don't know if you need to bring something underneath your leg or underneath your knee, just to make sure that your knee is protected. For me, I'm gonna place a block and just folding forward. Janu Sirsasana is the name. And then coming back out of it, keeping your legs straight, removing the strap. So from here, grabbing the opposite leg, bringing your foot across, if that feels good. Yeah, so you can either keep your leg straight or you can bend it right behind you. Yeah, so from here, we want to feel that we have both hip bones on the ground. So if we have one hip bone lifting up, we are not aligned, so we would need to maybe adjust it by bringing a blanket. Like if this side is floating in the air, then I want to bring a blanket here so that there's some support. Yeah. And then inhaling the, let's see, you have your left leg over, right?
Yeah.
Your left leg. All right, so for here, bringing your left arm up and then placing it by your knee, and then doing a twist over to the right. So we want to twist using our upper body instead of our abdominal body. So we want to do a little bit of a upper body twist. Yeah. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale, and then just extending both legs out in front of you, shaking both legs. And then this time we're gonna bring your strap, placing it to the opposite foot. So this time it's gonna be your right foot or your left foot?
I think I'm mirroring you, so sometimes I do the opposite foot by mistake.
Oh, okay. Well, just do the other one.
Yeah.
There you go. And then placing your placing your foot against your thigh, and then start to bend forward, being really mindful of your hamstrings and your low back. Sometimes we don't realize it. I had terrible low back pain after going to yoga whenever I did this pose. And without me realizing, it was this pose what was giving me low back pain. And that was because I was forcing myself to move down. I was not only stretching my hamstrings, but I was pulling on my low back. So that's why it's important to place something underneath your knees, so that you relieve some of that hamstring to low back tension. Yeah. Everything is super connected. It's incredible. Our bodies are incredible. Does that feel good to you, Laura? Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
especially with the blanket under my knee.
Yeah, that helps.
I've always hated this stretch, but the blanket under the knee completely changes it.
Yeah, and you can actually move into this stretch if you feel any tightness on your legs or your hips. You can move in this in come to this pose and then just stay here at home as long as you can, just to release it. There's also it's called yin yoga, which is basically you do the poses for a long time. It's actually not suggested during pregnancy because of the hormone relaxant, right? Because then sometimes you go over your limit, but as long as you know how far to go, I think should be okay. So just listen to your body. Yeah, and then come back to center, and removing that strap away from you, and from here keeping that leg straight in front of you, and then bring your knee above and across, and then bending that low knee, yeah, low leg. And then again, once again, checking to see that your sits bones are both aligned. And then, actually, I'm opposite of you, I think. And then from here, inhaling your right arm up, and then exhaling, dropping that elbow against your knee, and then twisting. Gentle twist. I don't know if you may feel this side may feel different than the other side. I know for me, I had to adjust the hips differently on this side.
Mm-hmm. This side's more comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, it's for me too. It's interesting. So one thing I do recommend during pregnancy is chiropractic care. I used not to be, yeah, I used to be really scared of it, but after my first pregnancy and see how much it can help, I think a combination of yoga with chiropractic care and massage therapy plus physiotherapy. If you do all of that, I think it's just wonderful. Yeah. All right. And back to center. Extend those legs out and then shake them up. From here, we're gonna do a quick kriya. I'm trying to we're short our time again, but we're gonna do your lovely kriyas. So we're gonna sit on the ground, and then this time we're gonna bring our hands up in, say, let's see, 60 degrees maybe, yeah, 75 degrees, I don't know. And then start to just close your fingers like that. Yeah, so stay here. We're gonna do this for, let's say, 3 minutes. And again, any moment that you feel that you any moment that you feel like, oh, I can't do this anymore, just keep on doing it, because you're training your mind to be okay with the sensation and to not run away from it. Right. So I'm going to put a timer here. My timer's not working, so I'm just gonna have to eyeball it. Yeah.
I think it's been 2.5.
No, I don't think so. So yeah, so bring your attention to the space in between your eyebrows. Whenever it feels like too intense. So doing the kriyas actually helps us realize that our bodies are capable of doing things that we don't think we can do. And I know that you've already had a birth before, so you know this already. So we're actually reminding ourselves of something that we've already felt before. We can totally do this again, right? And come back to your breath. And instead of wishing it away, instead of wishing that the sensation was not there, just working with it, knowing that you can do this. We have one more minute to go. Come back to your breath. Yes, you can do this. We're almost there. Yes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dropping. And then just bringing our awareness to our arms and our bodies, and then just feeling the rush of energy going through them. Exhaling any tension. And then just enjoying this moment of relaxation, of peace. Yeah, nice. And just shaking your hands. All right, so from here we're gonna move into, let's do bridge pose real quick, and coming to the floor, bringing your block close to you. So bridge pose is actually, we're not gonna stay here too long, you know, but so let me know if this does not feel good to you. So we're not compressing the vena cava on this particular pose because we're gonna have our hips lifted off the ground. So placing your block in between your legs, squeezing them as you lift your hips off the ground. Then walking your shoulders closer together to each other and interlacing your hands underneath you as you keep your hips up. And then release them back on the ground. Then squeeze and lift. And bring them back down on the ground. Squeeze and lift. And back down. Inhaling up. And then back down. Actually, inhale is on the exhale when we lift up. Exhale, lifting up. And releasing back down. Inhaling. And then exhaling, lifting up. And back down on the ground. Let's do 2 more. Inhaling and then exhaling, lifting up. Inhaling back on the ground. Yeah. Inhale, exhaling, lifting up. And back down the ground. All right. So from here, we're gonna move into your legs up the wall. So you have your bolster. Yeah, place the bolster against the wall, against the. I don't know if you can. Is it safe for you to lean on the doors? You think?
Yeah, they open this way.
Okay, great. Okay. And then trying to very mindfully sit on your bolster on the side. Yeah, so the bolster is really close to the wall or completely against the wall, and then very mindfully swing your legs up, placing both hands, and then your forearms on the ground as you lift yourself up. I want to see you do it to make sure that you're not I'm gonna injure. Yeah, good, good. Did you come off of it?
Yeah.
I know it's hard. Yeah, there you go. Good, good. Yeah, just make sure you don't pull yourself a muscle or anything. And it's definitely too hard, then we may look into something else. But you got it, I think. Yeah. Does this feel okay to you? Ah! All right.
Can you show me so I can see?
Yeah. So what I did is basically, yeah, sit on the side like this, and then placing my hand on the ground, and then just swing my legs up, placing both hands on the ground, and then just swing both legs up. And then just adjust. If you need to adjust the bolster, lift your hips up so you can adjust the bolster behind you. I think that will help you. Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
All right, nice. This pose is heavenly for whenever you have swollen feet.
Ooh.
And but if you have high blood pressure or if you may have preeclampsia, then this is something that you don't want to do for sure.
No, I'm good.
Okay, so let's go ahead and close your eyes. And start to relax, bringing your awareness to your breath. Take a slow breath in and a slow breath out. And feeling the expansion of your belly as you draw air in. And try to release with your exhale. And as you exhale, breathe all the way out until the very end of your breath. And bring your attention to your relaxed body, coming to a regular rhythm of your breath. Feeling your body maybe getting heavier, just allowing yourself to relax deeper in this position, especially your legs. And now, go ahead and set the intention to bond with your baby. With each in-breath, breathe in into this soothing and calming energy, and letting yourself soften your entire body, but mainly softening your mind, softening the mind. And with your out breath, breathe out any tension, any stress, any discomfort in your body. Just breathe in calm and breathe out tension. And now go ahead and place your hands on your belly. And as you do, just recognize that you have warmth in the palm of your hands. Imagine this warmth like a calming, glowing yellow light. And see how this beautiful yellow light starts to glow even deeper and brighter. How it's coming out of your hands and it's penetrating your belly, your organs, your uterus, your womb, and how it tenderly slides to embrace your little one. This light is your love, is your own light. And then just very gently hold this little miracle that's inside of you. Taking a deep breath in, expanding the belly, and then just watching how this beautiful yellow glow just brights brighter and brighter. Whatever this feeling that becomes natural to you, whether it's unconditional love or inner peace, as it comes up to mind, just know that you are transmitting all this to baby. The baby can feel it. I'm gonna stay here for a little bit longer. Just make sure that if you feel any discomfort at any point in time, you can always come back out of it. Make sure that you can still breathe. Just listen to your body. And when you're ready, bend your knees, keeping the soles of your feet on the wall. Yeah, one and then the other, and then gently roll off the bolster by swinging to your side and placing your hands on the ground, coming back to all fours or to seated. Yeah, nice. How did that feel, Laura?
That was nice. I actually used to do that pose when I was practicing piano in college because my back would hurt. And so I'd just lay on the floor with my feet up during practice sessions, like to take breaks.
Oh, that's interesting. Yes, this pose is actually I like to do this especially after, with my younger one. I'm just so tired during the day, and doing this, you know, throughout the day whenever I get a chance is almost as if taking a nap. For
Mhm.
me, yeah, it's just so much. It just brings your entire system into relaxation mode. All right, so going back to seated, placing your hands together, rubbing them, creating heat, and then placing them on top of your eyes. Cocooning ourselves to this beautiful heat. And then just tapping our arms, chest, lower chest, hips, legs, knees. Bringing our hands back to prayer, back to your heart center, bowing down to those fingertips. And then just being thankful for the opportunity to be able to connect with baby. And then setting the intention to connect with baby throughout the week. Thank you so much for coming to class today, Laura. Namaste.
Namaste.
All right, so for homework assignment for this week is to describe your baby with art. So,
Ooh.
whatever that means to you, whether it's drawing, painting, poetry, music, any side of your creative part of you, what do you think your baby looks like? And I don't mean physically
Yeah.
necessarily. Yeah. So just, I don't know if you want to maybe come up with a little short song or a little short piano, I don't know, piece or a drawing. I don't know if you like to draw or paint, just whatever it is. Describe your baby with art. What does your baby look like? And as you connect with your baby more, you'll be able to know more how that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm excited.
I'm nervous.
No, there's nothing to be nervous about. It's fun. This is meant to be fun. It's not whether you cannot do this wrong, in other
Yeah.
words. Yeah.
I tend to be a perfectionist though, so I'm learning better how to accept that there's not a right answer. Because
Yeah.
I've always been the one who I want to know the right answer. And there's not a right answer to this, but there's also not a wrong answer. So it'll be good.
But
Good practice.
actually, your answer is the right answer in this case, because it's the right answer for you and for how you feel and for how you connect, and it cannot be the same answer for two people. Yeah. Anyways, awesome. Yeah, I'm
Thank you.
excited. So, all right. Thanks for coming, and we'll see
Absolutely.
you
Thank you
soon. We'll
for
be in touch.
having it. Bye.
Namaste.